Vanakkam. Greetings to all Indian Forest Service aspirants. It indeed a great pleasure for me to welcome you once again to my YouTube channel Sylva, a ladder to reach canopy. After completing the three subjects and its overview in the previous sessions, now we are entering into the fourth and final subject of Section A of Indian Forest Service Mains Examination, that is the Silviculture of trees and overview. The first session, which was about the silviculture general, studying about the cultivation of forest crops, followed by silviculture systems, which was about the harvesting, tending, and regeneration of forest crops, functions purely based on silviculture principles, followed by the two important and unique ecosystem, that is the silviculture of mangroves and cold deserts. After completing the overview of these three subjects, today we are going to see the overview of the fourth and final subject of section A, that is the silviculture of trees and overview. In this subject, we are going to cover two important aspects. The aspect one is about the tropical field research, the research activities carried out by various organizations across the country in the tropical forest tree species, followed by the studying of silviculture characteristics of 32 important species. Let us see it one by one. The first aspect, as mentioned by me, it was about the traditional and recent advances in tropical silvicultural research and practices. Here, we will be start with the role of various research organizations existing in our country and their contribution. We have both central and state government research organizations existing across the country and contributing a lot in the field of forestry research. Example, the central organization like Indian Council of Forest Research and Education, headquartered at Dehradun, and its regional centers across the country and their contribution. Similarly, the state forest research institutes like Kerala Forest Research Institute or more examples will be covered along with their contribution, followed by the role of research in the forestry across the country and with suitable examples. We will be also studying about the role of research in wood supply. One of the great contributions made by the forestry research is about the release of various clones in the plantation forestry, which in turn helps in mitigating the deforestation that is taking place across the country, because majority of the industries are fulfilling the requirements through these sources only. So we will be studying about the best examples along with the species and their contribution in fulfilling the requirements of various industries, and followed by the advancements in forestry research in the present day, especially in the biotechnology and other advanced technologies and their contribution. And we will be also touching about the future scope of forestry research and how it is going to fill the gaps as a challenge existing in the present day forest management. These important aspects we are going to study in the traditional and recent advances in tropical research and practices, and followed by the study of silviculture of important economical species in the country. So the usages are based on the various applications. So we will be studying about the silviculture characteristics, why silviculture characteristics and study is very important, and what are the different characters, followed by the importance of studying silviculture characteristics of trees. As everyone is aware that the trees are the focal point of forest management. So, studying of trees will help in easing the process of forest management. Studying of silviculture will help or play a critical role in day-to-day forest management, because each and every step followed in the regeneration, tending, and harvesting relying upon the various silviculture principles. So to carry out all these operations starting from the regeneration, tending and harvesting requires or underscores the significance of studying of silviculture characteristics of species. Finally, the crucial role of this study about its contribution in the afforestation and its planning, because every character of a species is very important in the planning process. That is the easy way to introduce or plan any species in the planting operation. So without understanding or without knowing the silviculture principles, it is very difficult to execute or carry out any afforestation activity. We will be studying about what are silviculture characteristics and what is the significance of studying the characteristic of trees and how it is playing a very effective role in the forestry management, along with its role in or understanding the regeneration, tending and harvesting, and its linkage with the study of silviculture character. And finally, about the crucial role of the afforestation in and planning process. After this, important silviculture characteristics, or what are the characteristics we are going to study in this subject. The first and foremost subject is or the part is about the demand of light. Every species require a different kind of lighting capacity for its growth. Some may be requiring a high quantity of light, or some may be requiring a less quantum of light. So based on that, the trees are divided into light demander, shade demander, and shade bearer. We are studying of this is very important in carrying out the various kind of harvesting as well as regeneration operations. Followed by the copying ability. The definition or the explanation of copies has been already given in the silviculture system. So it is a special capacity of the trees to produce the shoots at the adventitious buds. So this is also very important for forestry management, especially after harvesting, because some trees are known for producing ability or the good copies, which need not be cut or which can be regenerated through the copying sources. So need not to do the planting operation after the harvesting. So that is why understanding the copying ability of the species also very important, especially after the harvesting. And also we'll be studying about the resistance against fire, resistance against wind, against the frost, against the drought, and also about the root suckering ability. These are the crucial silviculture characteristics we will be studying in this chapter. As mentioned by me, there are 32 important, economically important tree species existing in our country. Some are growing in the natural forest, some are planted artificially, or some are growing as a industrial species. So studying of these species are very essential in understanding the species and helps in growing the trees in natural or artificial systems. We will be studying about these 32 important species along with more details. So starting from the Kutch, its usage is as a secondary timber. Indian gum arabic, that is Acacia nilotica, as a secondary timber. So these are some of the examples mentioned here. The important characteristics are studied in this chapter, like the bur flower or the Anthocephalus cadamba, which is considered as an industrial timber, and the neem or the margosa, the usage is as a tree bone oil, or the flame of the forest, secondary timber of non-timber forest produce. And the bee food, again it is known for its industrial uses. And deodar, again the timber. Sisu, the timber. Red gum, blue gum or the Mysore gum, again known for its industrial value. The anjan, the hardwick binata timber. Chirpine, the timber or the known for its NTFP value. Eastern cottonwood, about the popular species, the industrial. Clerocarpus marsby, about the timber. Mesquite, about the secondary timber. And again teak, known for its timber value. And finally the laurel, the Terminalia tomentosa, tamarind, that is the Tamarind indica, secondary timber. So the complete details of the species along with the silviculture characteristic will be covered in this subject, because the very important questions will be asked in the Indian Forest Service mains examination, maybe few species to know about the various silviculture characteristics. So The complete information will be shared in the future main sessions. Main information shared along with the silviculture characters in this aspect are the name of the species, that is the English name, the family details, the distribution and climate, where these species are growing naturally in our country, and the climate requirements about the temperature, about the rainfall, and other important aspects. After the distribution and climate, we will be studying about the physiognomy and phenology, that is the how the trees is growing, whether it's a deciduous or the evergreen, and the size of the tree, and followed by the phenology. Phenology is the leaf shedding, flowering, fruiting. All those behaviors also will be covered here. And the silviculture characteristics, as mentioned in the previous slide about the copicing, it is about the resistance against different adverse factors. All these things will be covered here. And about the regeneration, whether it is suitable for any natural regeneration, or if artificial regeneration, then what are the different treatments are required, especially the seed treatment and all, and how the regeneration is exactly taking place in the forestry operations. And finally, about the yield and its use. What is the yield which is expected at the end of the rotation, and the various or the probable uses of the particular species. So here we will be studying all these details or the complete details of 32 important species of various categories of timber, secondary timber, industrial timber, or the trees of NTFP values. So these aspects will be covered in detail for these 32 species. So dear aspirants, that's all about the silviculture of trees, an overview. And I try to give the salient features of this subject, that is the two important aspects, the tropical forestry research, and followed by the silviculture characteristics of 32 important species. And all these details will be covered in the future or the main session. And thank you for watching the video, and thanks for the listening. If you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment section below. And wish you all the best for all your future aspirations. Thank you once again. Nandi Vanakkam. Silva, a ladder to reach canopy.